If engineers got this one thing wrong, their company could lose millions of dollars. Every electronic device you own depends on something that most people never notice. It's actually a tiny strip of copper. This piece of copper is called a trace, and it's the main reason why any of your electronics even work at all. When people look inside an electronic device like this USB-C phone charger, this M5 MacBook Air, these Apple AirPods Pro Max, any kinds of headphones, or game controller, they're usually going to find board inside that's green or black, and that board's going to have little tiny components on it. That board is called a printed circuit board, or PCB. But here's the part that most people miss or were just never taught. A PCB trace is more than a piece of wire. It's actually this physical structure that carries many things like electrons, signals, energy, and acts as a guide to electromagnetic waves all throughout your product, just like your iPhone. And if you get that trace wrong, your product can fail. When an electrical or electronics design engineer asks, how wide should we make the trace? That is a real decision. It's not arbitrary or random. That one single decision affects the amount of current that goes through that board, the heat, the resistance, the signal quality, manufacturing of the PCB, and even if that board can be built correctly. Matter of fact, even if you fabricate the PCB, if the traces are too hard to fabricate, that will reduce how many boards you can make and how many boards go into the scrap heap, therefore affecting how many thousands or tens of thousands of copies of that electronic can be made. We're talking literally hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars lost per quarter, all dependent on how well you can fabricate the traces on that PCB. Furthermore, if the trace is carrying power, it needs enough copper area to carry that current without overheating. If you make the trace too narrow, that will increase the resistance, increase the voltage drop, the heating, and also the chance of failure. On the flip side, if that trace is carrying a high-speed signal, the width means something different. Picture the trace sitting on top of a thin layer of insulating material with a solid sheet of copper running underneath it. That solid sheet of copper is your reference plane. The signal doesn't actually travel inside that copper. It travels in the gap between that trace and the copper plane beneath it. It's an electromagnetic wave that's riding through the insulation material, through the dielectric. So when you widen the trace, you're widening the space that electromagnetic wave is allowed to move through. And that changes how tightly the field is packed into that gap, or how much it's allowed to spread its flux across areas of the copper material. Engineers put three values on that change. They're called inductance and capacitance, which are different forms of reactance to the field. Those combined with resistance of the copper material give an overall impedance for that field. But underneath all that vocabulary, the physics is relatively simple. You're just changing the space and area you're allowing the electromagnetic waves and fields to propagate through the PCB. That's why high-speed PCB design for consumer electronics and modern-day electronics is not so much connecting components, but feels more like shaping electromagnetic waves. And this is why professional PCB design software matters, because engineers are not just drawing copper. They are shaping and defining rules. Rules like how wide should your power traces be? What impedance should high-speed traces have? What spacing is safe between my traces? And what can the manufacturer actually build at scale? And that's exactly the kind of design decision you'll master in Altium Develop, which happens to be the sponsor of today's video. They use Altium to define rules, route traces, check manufacturability, and manage the complexity that goes into real electronics. So when you see me showing this printed circuit board, the traces, the routing, the design rules, the rule checks, this is the kind of work Altium is built for. The point is this: a trace might look like a single copper line, but in reality, it is a physical structure for controlling the movement of electromagnetic energy. And the better you understand that, the less PCB design is going to feel arbitrary. The more you understand the electromagnetic waves and fields, the more PCB design starts making sense. In the next video, I'll show you how electrical engineers decide just how wide a PCB trace should be.